In this next stage, we're going to make the flowers begin to look like flowers. So this flower here, for example, is going to be something like one of those. What I'm going to do is start making, strengthening the shapes, particularly pay attention to where the edges lie. I might separate out petals, but what I'm not going to do is undercut. It's really important at this stage, no undercutting, because we might still be adjusting them. So starting here, I would just really start carving this flower. So I'd make sure this bit here was rounded over more. I'd be coming in, making some strength here. It's very much like our samples, trying to get some movement into the petals. And then when I think I've got this the right sort of shape, what I might do is think about dividing up the petals. So what we don't want to do is put a division of a petal where something dominant happens. For example, here we have the edge of a petal, so I wouldn't want to put it there. Perhaps I'll put it over here. So my first division is going to be there, and then my second one will be halfway along here. So I'll make some adjustment to where these go, something like that. So this first one I'd start putting in. So I just suggest it at this moment, like that, and I know this petal comes around like so. So I'm getting the edge of that petal there. But why I won't undercut is because I might want to go backwards, you know, into this carving. So not sure about what's going on. So I'm going to round this one over, give some interesting shape. That petal's coming round, and perhaps this one's going to go underneath this one. So we'll divide this as before. So we've got the top petal here, and this one will go behind under there. So I know this flower has all this sort of detail, but I'm not going to put that in at the moment. I'm just going to really sort all these bits out, working from this petal, then to the next one, the next flower rather, then this flower, and so on. Where you come to a bit like that, that's difficult. I'm going to use if necessarily a short bent gouge to sort of pull wood out here. So as we get deeper into the carving, we might need short bent tools. Now this will be undercut under here, but I'm not going to do that yet because I might want to bring this petal right down here. So I get some sort of interest going. I'm breaking up that line. So nothing's straight, everything's sort of moving and sort of fluid. So I'll carry on over here, put this petal in there. Straight down, no undercutting. Bringing that petal back over there. This needs probably a bit of wood off here. So a little bit of backwards and forwards. And because this is pointing in this direction, I want a flatter area over here for the end. And more of a slope around here, like that. So as I'm working my way along, I'm going to start cleaning up, make sure everything I do is clean, because that might well be now a finished surface. So this is a nice stage where we know where the flowers are. We're just going to quietly enjoy the shaping of them, just as we did when we were making our samples. So I've been happily working along here, refining the flowers. You can see here at the top that I've put in these little circular filler flowers. I used gouges that fitted the space as tight as possible. So all I'm really left with is little triangular depressions in between the various parts. And when I deepen those up, those will create a nice shadow. I've also, down the bottom here, created the tulip and cut a flower back here, so you'll see it more if you look underneath. If this backing board gets in the way, you can use a coping saw to remove some of that wood. Otherwise you can just cut through with your chisel. So I'm going to carry on with this onto the other side of the swag. So this is the end of my refining pass, and I'm pretty happy I know where everything is and the edges and how they all work together. So the next stage is to start thinking about refining even further, which is a sort of really into the final modelling and detailing. Here's the swag at the end of that stage, and I think you can see it's beginning to look like a swag with flowers, but still quite lumpy. You know, there's nothing very refined about these shapes. So the next stage is we're going to start carving these flowers, modelling them in much more detail, cleaning up the edges and getting them looking more like the flowers they should be. This area here, by the way, which is a fairly plain area, that's going to be a group of these little filler flowers in there. And if you've been eagle-eyed, you might see that I've actually changed a few flowers as I've gone along, which is really part of the fun, is making this up a bit as we go along. I've loved having this holding device. That's really helped me get at things. So get it to this stage, and then we're on to getting much more closer to the finish.